Yes, we'll start right now. We're live. Hello. Welcome to Brothers and Booze.
Brothers and Booze. Yeah.
What's up, Doug?
Not much, man. How about you? It's been a day here for me. How about you?
Oh, it's been a month.
So start us off.
So we're going to keep it moving. Look at that. Keep it moving. Light lager from Ale Asylum. If anybody in the Madison area that needs beer, you need to roll up to Ale Asylum. I got 30 beers for $36 or something like that.
Holy crap! From them, too.
Yeah, and Ale Asylum. You've had them. They're one of our. Ooh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that dirty glass. But also,
that's kind of our shtick, isn't it? Dirty glass.
Yeah, it is. So this is a nice. Look how light that is, man. Like,
that looks really nice.
It almost looks like lemonade.
Yeah.
Not
quite as clear as a Pilsner, but kind of close.
Yeah. If you recall, but I don't know if a lot of people know, this is the brewery with the fuck COVID beer.
Oh yeah.
It just wasn't available. I guess it sells out real quick. They said they'll have more next week, so I don't know. Maybe I'll get some next week. This is a light lager, but it's not corny, if you know what I mean. It's a little corny, but it's not like over. This is nice. It's not drinking like a normal lager. So it's nice.
Does that make it, is it crushable? Like, can you drink?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're a lager person. I mean, if you're again, if you go on the Ale Asylum and say I want a Bud Light, they'll hand you this and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Even better because this tastes better. And it probably won't give you a headache.
Yeah, it probably looks very much like a lawnmower kind of beer.
Yes, it does. And I don't know. I'll probably send you one or two here, and you can tell me if it's a shower beer or not.
Yeah, man. Kind of looking like it. My lineup tonight is decidedly heavy and not what you would call lawnmower beers. Everything I'm bringing tonight is barrel aged. So I'm going to start with tonight. So my brothers-in-law know the owner of this brewery. It's called K2 Brewing out of Rochester, New York. Mm-hmm. This is their barrel-aged Imperial Mole Stout.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mexican chocolate kind of deal. So, and it starts foaming right away.
Oh, and as we are doing the show, it's the NFL draft.
Man, that just flared right up.
Oh,
here it comes.
Oh.
That was really fizzy.
Okay.
I was not expecting it to quite, do the whole, here's a fucking shower beer. Literally. Yeah, it's almost like it felt like I shook up the can, which I totally did not.
Is that a crowler or is that a growler or what is that?
That is just a little 12-ounce can.
Yeah. Okay.
It has been in my fridge for 5 days. I want to tell you, just getting a little sip, the chili is like right in your grill.
Ooh. Shit.
Mm-hmm. Chili chocolate. It doesn't have like the Mexican hot chocolate taste. It's not that. It's much more spicy.
Mm-hmm.
And I am generally not a fan of spicy beer, but it is rather smooth. So it's definitely interesting. But like I said, the chili hot, spicy stouts are never really my jam. So I was hoping this would be a little bit more along the Mexican beer style, Mexican chocolate style. But that one is. If you like chili beers and you like spice, this is really good. And it's just the chocolate doesn't do enough to tamp down the heat for me. So again, you know how it is. We always talk about, every palate's different. So, if you like that sort of spicy stuff, definitely something you should give a go. But for me, it's just a little bit too much on the spicy side.
Yeah.
Not finding it.
Let's see here. Chocolate. No. Jalapeno cream ale. That sounds really good.
Both of my brothers-in-law said that beer is superb, but because I am not a spicy beer person, I kind of steered away from it and went for the barrel aged stuff. So that's why I went with that. Like I said, it's smooth. It's really smooth. It's just the heat is a little bit too much for me, and I get heartburn very easy. So like it's kind of a rougher one for me just because of the heat element. But
I was just trying to look this one up. Does it say ABV on there?
It's 12%.
That's where you're starting tonight?
Yeah, this is the next one I have is 11.9, and then the last one doesn't even have the ABV on it. So,
well, man, I started with the I think this is 4.7.
Yeah, it's okay. We're just starting with different style beers. I said I was going barrel aged all night, so yeah, it's gonna be
one of those nights. So yeah, I don't see it here.
That's like one of their apparently one of their more popular beers.
Yeah. K2's up here. Where's K2? Over in you said Rochester,
New York.
Look at that. All right, man.
Let me see. Yeah, what's weird is I don't see it there. I do see it over here on Untapped. So let me share that over with you.
Yeah, I am. The next one that you're going to have, I'm really interested in.
Yeah.
But, oh, yeah, we're supposed to have a guest, but he is running late or something.
Yeah.
So,
but it's kind of appropriate considering, who he is and what he does. So
this is true. This is a barrel-aged Imperial Mole Stout. And not many people have had it either.
Yeah, it's interesting because that is, like I said, both Aaron and Adam, my two brothers-in-law, were like really talked very highly of the beer. They thought the jalapeno cream ale was like just that really put them over the top as being really great. So they're ones that's when they go to Great America GABF. That's who they go with to help. Is this brewery?
Oh, okay. Oh, so they get to go with them, and then they get behind the scenes with them and all that.
Yep.
Damn, that sounds like fun. Doug isn't messing around tonight.
No, I am not. As I said, it has been it's been
bad.
Yeah, so I figured I had them. Let's do it because before long, up until yesterday, it was in like the 40s here. We had snow coming down here and there. It was like, so before it gets too warm, and we're kind of out of that season, which is never really out of that season for me, but yeah.
We have the so you said the mole is not pronounced, meaning it's not really that
heavy. The chocolate element is not. The chocolate is there at the end a little bit and helps smooth it out, but the heat just rides the whole way through it. I mean, it's that's the aftertaste as well as the heat.
Good times. Let me see what's going on with Ale Asylum. I don't know if I want anyone to go to their website. Let's show it here. So yeah, I got a big old shipment today from Ale Asylum. Did the old contactless pickup. Fantastic. Yeah. 30 beers for $30. $35, something like that. There we go. So if I go over, I didn't get any of these, but I did pick up. They're not showing, like, I don't know about your breweries, but they're not showing. Well, maybe they are showing like the normal website.
Yeah.
Here we go. So, the next one I have here, I'm going to start right now is Plush Crush.
Plush Crush. All right. Is that from Ale Asylum as well? Yes. All right. Good.
Plush Crush. This is their hazy, juicy, crushable, 47
first of its name, Khaleesi, like lots of words there.
New England style IPA. Whatever. It's a session IPA. So I was, I don't know if we talked a bunch of times about my love of session IPAs and stuff like that. So Ale Asylum, they're what we consider an IPA house. They have a gazillion different ones. Yeah. This has the complexity and the fruit of like an IPA, and it drinks kind of like an IPA. But
Okay.
you saw, or like you saw, it was only set 4.7%. This New England style gives it a little beef. You can see the haziness there. It's crushable. Yeah, pretty damn good. It's they do when Ale Asylum wants to get out of like IPA land, they do really, really good, but they like IPA land. That's their thing. That's their world. Yeah, that's their world, and they're not getting out of it. I don't know. It's funny too because you have we have other places that literally have been around 25 years and they just did their first IPA like 3 years ago or something like that. So like there is that contrast where like there is that pushback where there's people being like, oh no, I'll do one IPA for you, but I'm not
doing all that shit.
Right. And Ale Asylum's kind of like the other way. They're like, all right, we'll do a damn Scotch ale for you people, but we're not trying to like. So anyway, I'm Doug. Enough of this. You're gonna bring on your second here, but we're gonna bring in our guest. Right now. Without further ado, it's Jonathan Heisey-Grove of.
Yay! Hey, what's up, guys?
How's it going, man?
How you doing?
So, would you like to tell everybody why you're late?
Yeah, kids.
Right.
That's a
kids. There's no babysit anymore.
Great answer.
I mean,
but it was the truth, though.
It's truth.
Doug said something about it, so I had to. We definitely had to ask you about it because Doug was like, Doug said something like, "Yeah, it's funny, it's funny that we had him at this day, and that's the reason."
And I will have to admit that in my head I had we're starting at 10 Eastern, so luckily I was set up with everything else. It was just the second you said, "Yo, where are you?" I don't know.
Well,
here I am.
You're in good company because it was yesterday that Doug was 10 minutes late, and then it was earlier this week. I was like literally 2 minutes early. Like I got here.
That's normally how we roll. Usually we're here fairly early.
Somehow I was set up. So what's up, John? How you doing? What's up, John? How you doing?
I'm surviving.
What are you drinking? Because that is the theme of the show.
I am starting with Dark Hollow from Blue Mountain. This one is it is Imperial Stout that's been aged in American oak bourbon barrels.
Sorry for laughing at you because when you start this show with an Imperial Stout, we usually laugh.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I'm used to being laughed at, so
only in a fun way because it's like we build up to the big ones.
That's
so
right.
If you're starting with a big one, we're like, oh wow, okay.
Hey, I've been waiting to try this for like weeks. It's been sitting waiting.
Yeah, that's one that when you shared the picture of it, I was like, that's the one I want to hear about. So.
Yeah. So.
Then in the Star Trek mug.
Oh yes, gotta represent in all different ways.
Oh, we're gonna get in. We might get into that later.
Yeah. So. Oh, I taste so many things that are so wonderful in this. It's definitely got that oak flavor. It's not overpowering. It just like
roasty.
It's roasty. It tastes like it wants to be dense, but it's not overpoweringly like saturated. Mm.
That just looks lovely.
It's very lovely. It's a great way to start.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, Doug. You're not ready for your second one, are you?
Well, I can bring my second one. The first one was a little bit too heavy on the chili spice, but so let's go to something that might.
Yeah. Show JHG quick. Did you see that one, JHG?
No, which one was that?
This is the K2 Brewing out of Rochester, New York. It's Imperial Mole Stout.
Oh.
So, and I was hoping for more like a Mexican chocolate, almost like Chocovesa kind of deal.
Yeah.
But it's much more chili front, and actually the chili just stays right on your palate the entire way through and onto the aftertaste, which for me it's not my jam, just because I'm not a chili heat person. So
I don't mind chili heat as long as it's in the back. If it stays back and it doesn't overpower, then I'm great. Otherwise, that kills it for me too.
For me, it's just it's a little bit too strong. Now, again, you might be other people might think that's really great. It's not.
So you guys do the mole when you go Mexican?
Not traditionally, but there's actually the Mexican place I go. They don't even have mole. It's really weird.
Well, isn't that? I'm going to sound really ignorant here. Here's a warning, right? No, isn't it regional? Isn't it regional Mexico like it is here? Meaning, you get different barbecue in North Carolina than you do in KC. So, like, I would assume that some places are regional where they have the mole, and then some places don't. Because I'm with you, I don't see it in a lot of different Mexican places that I go to.
Yeah, same.
So, anywho, I don't know. That sounded pretty good, Doug, but it's probably one of those I just want like this much.
Yeah, that's definitely a sipper as opposed to something like here, a whole glass of that. The second one here is I showed it to Greg, and Greg was like, "Ooh." So
yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Barrel aged narwhal, which I have had narwhal before. I've never had the barrel age, so I'm super intrigued how this is going to be. So, Greg, sure.
Mole is labor time intensive.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
It's pretty good though. It's pretty good.
I think if it was something mixed with something, and you could kind of cut it with, God forbid, guacamole. I hate avocados.
Not an avocado man, eh?
Right. So no avocados, no top sheets. I mean, I don't know where to.
We haven't even gotten there, Greg. Let's hold that.
No avocado thing is almost like
the great debate continues.
It's almost unfriendable, JHG. I don't know how to do it.
Oh.
Now that's not unfriendable.
Put a nice little booty on your screen there. Woo.
Oh yeah.
As I said today, we're all slowly losing our minds, I believe.
I think so. I fucking lost it. I don't even know what's going on.
Some are faster than others.
So on this, Mullen, we're going there. So you can
we're going there, Ben.
Don't start, please. Anyway, we're back.
So that bourbon barrel age thing is nice on the nose. It's not too strong. It doesn't smell super boozy. Sometimes you get it and it's just like overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, baby, that is really super well blended in. That I really, 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 really enjoy. Really enjoy. I will be enjoying more of it right now.
I know what to get next if I can find it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That was one I stumbled across. I like narwhal a lot, and I saw barrel age. I was like, I'm picking that up, and I bought that for not even $5. It's a 16-ounce can.
Nice.
That was my next question.
Yeah. My final beer was more expensive than that, and it's less beer. It's a 12-ounce can. So.
Right. So JHG, how is it being a president of a national nonprofit during a pandemic?
That's a great question. It's a little nerve-wracking.
Like everything else, right?
And like everything, yes, just another stress point to add to the life. It
you can just drop. You can just say that. We can move on. Like really,
if you're like,
move it on.
So it's kind of business as usual. It really hasn't changed what the ultimate goal and direction of the organization is. We're still doing the basic work that we had been doing before, and just trying to keep looking forward and keeping on track with our goals for the coming year.
Yeah, and one of them goals is I'm not trying to put you on the spot, obviously. and I know this is a question that you've answered 650,000 times. So I don't feel about being the 650,000 first. So
is that a word?
Joel, you are correct.
So yeah, at this point, my friend, you better have a cage response for this, because it's almost like asking, it's almost like asking the question, how are you sitting at home with your kids and your family? Everybody answered that one. So obviously we have Home Dad Con, which is one of the conventions that's dear to my heart. I've been a gazillion times. I've been so many times I seriously don't know. When people ask me how many times, I literally have to count. I don't know. Don't ask me. I think it's 8, but it's still in the books here coming up. What are you thinking? Where are you at with all this? Or obviously it hasn't been canceled, so
it hasn't been canceled, but we are also in a development pattern. We're still developing and working on who we're going to have there, and developing our programming. We are keeping an eye, like everybody else and all the organizations out there, keeping an eye on what Kentucky is doing. For those of you who aren't fully aware, it is Cincinnati, but the hotel is in Kentucky, right across the river. So we have to keep our eyes on what Kentucky is doing to know what Home Dad Con will look like in October. And it's just as simple as that. So, childcare to attend Home Dad Con, it's worth it. It's worth it. Honestly, bring family in. You want a way to help, inform your family what it is that you do and what that role is like. Have them help out at home. I mean, a family should, your parents, your siblings, if they have kids, they should know what it's all about. So it shouldn't be that hard of a transition for them to come and help you out. Greg can attest. Home Dad Con is can be a life-changing moment for a lot of dads. I've heard stories of guys who have just, moved off to the side and started crying because they couldn't believe the power of the moment they were in, because they were finally around guys that understood what they were going through. So you are not alone. You have brothers in this country who understand what you're going through. And if you have a chance to come and be a part of that, it's really a life-changing experience for a lot of people. And cheers to that. It changed my life, that's for certain, in so many different ways.
Dougie Fresh?
Yeah, man. So I have never had the pleasure of being at that conference because, for me, it's more like, well, I'm not a at-home dad because I work full-time. And, it's something where I know that it's something like I could go and it wouldn't be something where people are like, well, you can't be here. But yeah.
Right. It wouldn't work that way anyway. Right.
Yeah, it wouldn't work that way. Yes, it is geared primarily to at-home dads, but a lot of the work that we look at and do is for dads and parents, people who are, and dads who are active members of their family, that they contribute a partnership role.
JG, don't lie. There's a secret handshake.
I can't tell you that.
Oh, I didn't tell you about. You don't know about the secret handshake, and you're the president.
Who said I don't know about the secret handshake?
I just spilled it. No,
I am the president after all, so I know. It's the Area 52. Okay, it's just next door.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the short answer is, or what I heard was that we're still planning to go. We're taking everything day to day. We're seeing how it goes. That's all we can ask, Asha.
That's right. I mean, you look at what's going on around the country. You don't know what's going to happen next. So we just got to we have to keep working and developing to that goal with all the other unknowns still to be worked out, fleshed out.
For sure.
Well, you guys went the heavy way on the beers tonight, and I went the hoppy way.
Yeah.
I have Hopalicious here, which is one of the most famous Madison beers, period. It came out as one of the biggest hoppy beers a couple years ago. It changed the landscape. People reference this beer when they talk about IPAs. Funny thing is, it's not an IPA. It's a pale ale, but it has that hop presence that it is. It's fantastic beer. Ale Asylum is one of our biggest breweries around here, and they are selling this beer, which is their flagship beer, for $1 a fucking beer.
Wow.
When you go to their place, Hopalicious is $6 a glass, like any craft beer, anywhere you go. So there's six. So yeah, I had to make sure I got 30 beers for like $36 or something.
Oh my god!
I mean, it was funny. Lady went and picked it up for me, but she told me the whole process was like you get there and then you show them their stuff, and then they come out and they put the beer there, but there's a big sign that says, "Don't leave your car until we flee." They leave the beer there, and then you have to wait till they get in there, and then you go get your beer and come out and
until we flee.
I love the words were great. Ale Asylum is one of those breweries though. You guys probably have one. They're like, they're not in an assholeish way, but they're like irreverent. That makes sense. Like they like push boundaries, but not in like a, like we've seen racist, sexist, idiotic way. No, they do it in like, yeah, they're JC. I don't know if you know, they have a beer called Fuck COVID.
No, I didn't know that.
So yeah, so they try to push the line, and we're talking about, and we can bring this up too, like, COVID beers are generally not good, and it's not something that you should be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like somebody came out with like a COVID toxic beer or something like that. It was, and it was. I posted it on my page. Remember that?
Yeah.
But anyway, they got shamed to death, and they had to remove it and all that because obviously. But again, Ale Asylum, the fuck COVID thing. I haven't heard any pushback, and I'm pretty sure some proceeds go to, I believe, the COVID relief here. So I think, again, it just shows how they're willing to push the line, but they're smart enough to do it in a way that people can like rally around them, if you know what I mean, as opposed to being like, you're an idiot or you're racist or what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Which so many times we've asked on breweries, you know what I mean? Like,
what are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing? Like, come on.
Trying to capitalize on a pandemic.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. After all this BS, here's Hopalicious.
All right.
So JHG, you only had the one. You should open up number 2.
I'm gonna run to their fridge in a minute.
So that looks super good.
Ooh. Yeah. See, it's funny. It's funny when you have a beer. You haven't had a beer in a long time, and then you go back and get it. And I don't know, this beer's different than I remember it. Not in a bad way, but
what was the age of it?
Oh, the age better been good. I just picked it up at the damn brewery.
What if it's something they're like, we're selling it for $1 because it's 3 months old?
Right.
No. I can't see the day here. No, it's not. It's not, first of all, I don't want to. I don't want to act like it's bad. My thing is like my example is I don't know if you guys were around for when zombie dust was a big thing.
Yeah.
From Three Floyds. Zombie dust. JC. I don't know if you're familiar.
No.
The big hoppy beer, and when it came out, it was one of the hoppiest beers known to man. Blah blah blah. But now when you go get it, it's just like another hoppy beer. It's a good beer, but it's not like extremely hoppy. This is what reminds me of this.
So it pushed a boundary.
Yes.
And then everybody else
caught up
on that and caught up. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So now when I have this, I'm like, I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the hoppy thing that I used to think it was. You know what I mean? Like I used to be like, wow, Hopalicious. Now I'm like, oh, Hopalicious is good. But
that makes me think of my Sam Summers story, and I'm going to go get my next beer, and I'll be right back with that.
All right.
Hold on a second.
Well, it's like one of those where, you know what I mean, like also your palate advances.
Sure.
So sometimes, you know what I mean, like again, what used to be really, really hoppy or over hop for you is just not. And this is balanced actually. The more I'm drinking it, and it's good. It's great. Don't get me wrong.
By the way, let's watch and see if JHG's cat gets out of that room. Watch. Oh, look at you sneaky little cat. It was staring at the door. I'm like, I wonder if he shut that cat in.
That's great. Cat watch.
Cat watch.
Right. You're right, though. That cat got out. Is the cat still there, though? Oh, look, it's still. Oh, no, the cat.
Yeah. We were watching your escape artist cat.
Yeah, we were cat watching.
Yeah.
He didn't even hear us.
Yeah, I didn't hear you.
We were watching cat watching. Because your cat was trying to escape. You shut it in. Oh, no.
Four cats.
3 cats.
Oh,
man.
All right. So
JHG is 1 cat per human in this house.
That's correct. It has turned into that.
Yeah.
Yes, Hopalicious.
Sad state affair.
Yeah.
All right.
What's next?
All right. What's next here?
Man, these are going down.
Gotta clear the
Yeah, but you're drinking the beers that are like crushable, Greg. It's like easy.
Exactly.
Right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So next up is Long Black Veil from Port City.
Oh.
Yeah, I know Greg would be like, yeah.
I love Port City.
So this is local. They're all Alexandria, Virginia there.
Yeah, we're bringing that boy up.
This is a Black India Pale Ale. And so
you know I have to say it. Black IPAs matter.
That's right. So I had always been hesitant of black IPAs, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Not to use a pun or any sort of but this truly surprised me. I really enjoy it. I mean, it smells just like any old IPA, but it has a really great taste and flavor profile at the top end, and ends on an IPA end, but it still has that extra bit of difference. You can see the description there.
I found notes of coffee and dark chocolate.
Yeah,
I find a lot of black IPAs roasty too.
Yeah,
that's why I like this, is because it has a profile of a stout without it being a stout. It's a good go between if I don't want to do with a Guinness or a dark hollow or any of those higher heavier ones. I can go to this, and it's lighter on my palate, and it still gets me the flavor profile I want.
Man, and look at that story too. I don't know if you can see it, but it's an interesting story. There's a story behind all this. Wow. Cool, man.
Port City is one of those places. It's like a hidden gem in our area. It just makes good quality beers across the spectrum, from your IPAs to porters. I mean, I've got a porter on hand.
Oh, yeah, I've had on.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, you look at the various offerings. I don't recall ever having a bad Port City beer, regardless of what they're offering. They have a great brewery. It's off like an industrial drag in town, and they have food trucks that come in to supply food. Otherwise, they are just a brewery.
So, JHG.
Yes, sir.
We didn't get much pre-production time, so we're going to do this live.
Awesome.
So, we don't have a sponsor. For the record, we don't even look for one. There might actually be one out there, but we don't even look. So, our sponsor usually ends up being our guest. In fact, our sponsor is our guest. So, I'm about to say now it's time for our sponsor. And after that, you get to talk about whatever you want to talk about for an extended period of time.
Oh, so my God.
Doug.
Now it's time for our sponsor.
Dun, dun, dun.
super professional.
Oh, shit. I got thrown up into the big screen.
Yes, you did.
Welcome to the big league.
So, you already talked about home.com. I don't know if you want to go talk about that. You have a personal side gig. You want to talk about that? Or if you don't want to talk about anything.
Well, holy shit, you just threw me on the spot like a big spotlight is.
And nobody's watching you. It's our stream. No worries.
Right. No worries. Nothing wrong. It's just live.
Right.
And nice.
Now he's just fucking with you.
Yes, he is. That's what I love about Greg. So I met Greg at Home Dad Con in Raleigh. We probably crossed paths in DC because that was my first one. But I think we really got to know each other in Raleigh. And that was just, you talk about a changing moment in your life. Meeting Greg Washington was one of those changing moments. And I seriously, because of the openness of Greg, he and I, what I've come to understand is that he and I have similar personalities, and we click. There are people that you meet in your life where you just sort of click, you hit it off, and you just go. And this is one of those relationships. So wherever Greg is, it doesn't matter if he's here in person or if he's in Wisconsin or he's off in Montana or, on a road trip, you could have a conversation with him and never miss a beat.
Aw.
At least to me.
Aw.
That's just me. How's that for a sponsorship?
That was very nice.
Well, that's really nice. And I've never been the subject of our sponsor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, your show, you're one half of the show. So.
Yeah, but.
Yeah. Don't let him fool you. He's the driving force here.
Right.
Doug is the better app. It's all good.
See, the deference. Yeah. It's the deference part too.
I'm gonna succumb to pressure.
Succumbing to pressure. I understand that. That's why I am where I'm at. So
wait. I'm already on my fourth beer.
Now, to be fair, the 2 beers I've had equal all 4 of yours, and I have not finished in alcohol percentage. So.
Wow. All right. Well, I could go super hoppy or super dark and malty. So I'm going to succumb to pressure here.
Pressure.
It's your fault. Lateralis?
Lateralis. Lateralis, yeah.
Is that Imperial
Imperial
Stout?
Stout.
Look at you.
Oh, at 1 pint. All right.
What is it?
10%.
11 ounces. Or I'm sorry, 11 ABV.
Yeah, where's that from?
I don't do these big ass beers on the show like Doug does, generally. I do the hoppy shit because Doug doesn't do the hoppy shit.
Yeah,
he does.
No, you're right. I generally, if I get the IPAs, they're usually the milkshake style or something like that, or juicy.
And JHG, as we love to say, likes his beer like his coffee, like his man. Dark.
Dark as fuck.
Right.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Dark and bitter.
Dark and bitter.
Ooh.
Dark and roasty and smooth. And sweet.
Where's Lateralis from? What brewery?
Lateralis is from, this is, I believe, our friend Dan Boobian's brewery, Lupulin.
Lupulin, yeah.
From Big Lake, Minnesota.
Oh.
This is a big one. Joel's commenting thumbs up. Joel's in your group, man. You, Joel, and JHG here, man. You guys in your dark, big, stouts. I don't know, like Joel, you can comment. Joel, you're watching, but I don't know if Joel delves into the diabetes stouts that much. And Doug, you get into them a little bit. Where are you at with these ones, though, JHG? Do you like the diabetes stouts, like the creme brulee and cinnamon bun, and what else? Doug? Come on, tell me. Milkshake and pastry stouts, and they're big stouts, but they're not. A lot of them are they high ABV? A lot, Doug? Not really.
It depends. Some of them are like you get them anywhere in the pastry stout from 8 up to 13-14%, depending on what they are.
Oh yeah.
I am an equal opportunity drinker, so I will try anything to see what it's like and go from there. I'm not going to stop myself from trying something. Quite honestly, I mean, one of the ones that, so I have a thing for peanut butter, and so the first time I saw Sweet Baby Jesus on a shelf, I'm like, getting that.
Yes,
I'm getting that, and I was not prepared for it because I had no idea what I was expecting. So when I first had it, I was like, oh, this is. I was expecting something that I could just down pretty quickly. I'm like, no, this is not. Sweet Baby Jesus is not one of those kind of peanut butter stouts. It is a drink it slow, drink it easy, and enjoy it. Don't scarf it down. So as long as I am, mentally prepared for something, I'm all in.
Yeah. I will try anything. I have biases that get in the way at time. I admit that.
Indeed.
The equal opportunity tasting.
We all do. Yes. Yes.
This one is chocolatey though. Very chocolatey. Very sweet. But not again, the ending's not as sweet. The ending's kind of crisp, so that's nice. This is a good one. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh.
Compared to what I was,
you jumped there, man. That was like
you
went up from AA ball to the major leagues in that one.
Look at that, back to school, right?
Huh? Yeah.
There we go, man. So
let me grab my third one here, and then we'll do JHG.
Oh, you have one that everybody talks about.
Yes, and one I'd never found before. So I'm super excited about this one.
You never found that one?
No, I've never had the barrel-aged 1050. I've had 1050 a bunch of times. I always like it. It's always good. I've never had the barrel-aged version. So I found that, and yeah. It's going to be interesting.
One of our group mates in the Daddy Porter group, Robert Scroggs, he's a certified cicerone. That's his favorite beer. He always talks about it. I'm surprised the fact that we're talking about it and he hasn't heard and he's not on here. It's
really like
yeah,
he knows all about that shit.
JC, this guy's so crazy that he is the number one person that I believe checks in on 1050. Like he's the most person that I think he says that he's checked the stats on it. He likes 1050 so much he logs it in every time.
I like how that looks.
Yeah, that beer is. I don't know, Doug. I don't know if it's better than that other one you just had, so I'm really interested to see what you think. Because barrel-aged narwhal is.
Yeah.
It's better than narwhal.
It's what?
It's better than narwhal.
Okay.
All right.
It's smoother. Like, okay. So you're going to get the boozy elements because barrel age. You're always going to get that when it's barrel age.
Right.
This thing just like blends that all just like into one nice smooth ride of a beer. I'm really just
man.
I want to get and I have 3 more of these in the fridge. Well, 2 in the fridge and one that I'm cellaring sideways, motherfuckers. It doesn't matter, right?
Oh.
All right. So,
what are the ages of the two, Doug?
So that one that I just pulled from that's the 1050. That is December of last year.
Oh, okay.
The narwhal, I'm not sure. I'm trying to see. That is. I can't tell. It's like 03/06/20. So that is the 6th of March of this year. So that is
fresher.
Oh, wow.
I wish I would have gotten more of that to cellar, so I'm going to have to go get more of that. But this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good stuff. Huh?
Lord have mercy.
All right.
Good.
When people describe a bourbon barrel beer as smooth, that's a translation to me that's a really, 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 really good beer.
Well, you know how it is because you usually some of them you get the bourbon barrel age and it's just like here's your booze and it's got a little bit of beer flavor. No,
smacks you in the face with the
You get a little bit of the hint of the boozy stuff on the nose, and then it just everything just blends perfectly through it. Like I don't say that shit about a lot of beers. This is really, really superb.
Yeah, and again, Joel. Yeah, Joel. I know you're a social drinker. I got you, buddy. I didn't mean to say like Joel drinks all the time, but no. The majority of what I see Joel posting in a group, how about that? Which is anecdotal evidence because that's not exactly what Joel drinks all the time. Because I don't post everything that I drink in a group, so then it's anecdotal evidence. But with that being said, what Joel mostly posts, though, especially when Joel first started and when we first coming up in craft beer, he always posted Dino S'mores. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Yeah, and that is a really great beer. That is a really fucking good beer.
I only remember because I was jealous as fuck that I couldn't get it.
Okay. Yeah, I found a couple of them near me and where I worked, and I was like, all right, there's 3 of those. All 3 of those are going home with me. Yeah.
Right. Here's Dino S'mores. Oh, I got another one. And I'm like, dude, stop. I still haven't had Dino S'mores. I'm pretty damn sure. But no,
I should have had some when you came here.
Yeah, Joe, I get this though. Like, people think that I'm an aspiring cicerone, so I drink all the time. Meanwhile, I have kids and homeschool and all that, and it just doesn't work. But yeah, I feel you. But
now we all homeschool.
Yeah, right. With that, the narwhal would be better if it was aged a bit, for sure.
But you already said it was blended pretty well.
It was pretty good. I'm just saying the thing is, it's like
but if it sat longer.
Yeah, it's just something where you go, this is really good, and then you have something. It's like that is just so fucking good that it makes the other one look just like it's not good. That's not the case. The narwhal was excellent. This is that's a class above.
Yeah, yeah. And Joe says age and VA beers is very important generally, and he's right. Man, okay. Well, all damn. Right. See, this is JC. This is a time where Doug and I wish that we could like.
Yeah. Like, hey, man, try this.
Yeah.
I wish I could share all this stuff. I do.
Right. Well, that would be the point that everything would be contactless then. Like, I would never have to see you motherfuckers. We could just get in the room and I could just be like,
yeah.
I wouldn't have to come to Washington and New York to visit.
Greg, the introvert, could be totally at home. Just all he has to do is pull it out of his camera.
Hey, some of us who are extroverts are not really cool with this staying home shit. So,
I understand. I understand. There is that part. I like to be out and about. I don't mind being at home, but yes, being out and about and around others. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something I miss. It's I just miss being able to. I'm just going to go down and there's this bar that's just down the street from me, and they have like 30 taps, and they always have some interesting stuff. And I like going there, and usually I'm just somebody will sit next to me, and I'm the kind of person I can walk into any place and I'll talk to 5 people, and that's just how I roll.
Yep.
Well,
I hear that.
I've been talking about this lately, but it's the truth. I meet the best people at breweries. So now what the hell am I going to
do? You bring them online.
Without contact, you'll be meeting them.
You bring them here.
Right. Yeah. That's what the lady and I were talking. And she's like, she was just joking, but she's like, I don't care. I can do this the rest of my life. I don't need people and all that. I look at her and like, I'm a beer guy. What the fuck am I supposed to do? She's like, that's not my problem. And I'm like, oh, those pandemic and quarantine conversations. Oh my god.
What you're saying is you're a robust porter.
So
that was a great segue.
You're a robust porter.
And
so
yeah, go get you.
No, so this is another one that I discovered through exploration. This is another one that boasts roasted coffee and bittersweet chocolate. So there's a little bit of head on there.
I've told this story before. JC, you probably heard me talk. I probably talked to you about this. When I went to the GABF, that's when I found Port City because I sat at Port City. And when we go to GBAF, there's literally 6,000 breweries there. Man,
that looks yummy.
And
it is very yummy.
Port City was one that I got stuck on because I said that if I had a beer and it was good, I would keep drinking. I was literally there for 15 beers. And you're right, man. Like you nailed it when you said that they do all like most of the styles well. They really, 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 really do. I can't say it enough. They really do.
I'd be curious to try their Pilsner because, as Greg and I have talked, like if you can make a good Pilsner, that thing is Pilsners it seems like a super simple style, but if you nail a Pilsner, it's super refreshing.
Well, that and what brewers say, I'm not one, but this is what they say. It's hard to hide the flaws in a Pilsner.
Yeah.
So like you can hide the flaws in the stout by throwing cocoa nibs in it, and you and Doug and JG and Joel would drink it.
I will.
Yeah,
I would too. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
But it's hard to like throw cocoa nibs in a Pilsner.
Right. Might give it away.
Yeah, you're right. Pilsner is one of those though. It's one of those styles where it doesn't seem like they're adding anything to it, and I don't think they should.
Yeah.
Like, I argue about the fruited porters, which I fucking hate. Sorry. I just say sorry because I know a lot of people like them, but I just completely despise them almost on a level.
Yeah.
A raspberry porter, stop. Like, no. No. Don't do it again.
Thank you.
I just live in a world where porters should be roasty, or they should be, you know what I mean? So that's
and you can do something like barrel aging porters or something like that, and I think that's adequate. But like I'm with you, like I don't think I've ever had a raspberry porter or any sort of fruited porter that was like, oh, that was good. I just generally, I'm with you. I think there's certain styles. I think brown ales are a lot like that. Like brown ales should be, here's your brown ale, and that's what that is. Like you just, there's certain styles that I think you just got to stick to the script.
Don't fuck around with it.
You're going to get some PhD about this?
Well, so I'm glad you brought this up because going in the Wayback Machine, when I lived in Boston and was going to school and whatnot, Sam Adams was fucking around with their beer. And they had their own bar downtown near Boston Public Library, and they were testing out their Sam Summer beer. You know, nobody had ever. This is like 20 odd years ago. Dating myself, and so my best friend from college and I go into Sam Adams Brew Pub, and we order, what is the Sam Summer? So we order the Sam Summer, and we're like, okay, we never heard of it, didn't know what the hell it was, and they serve it up. We take one sip, and we go, Christ, why are we drinking Lemon Fresh Dawn? And had to give it back because we had no idea what the hell it was that they had put in this beer. It was like, no, I'm not drinking like dish detergent. I want a beer. So that's like to at least from my perspective, that was the introduction of, you know, different flavors into beer. And, you know, how does a brewery adapt and evolve to create new product without turning off their consumer? And that turned off this consumer on that beer, but not on their broader line of products. So, you know, you can throw all the shit you want into a beer, but unless it tastes good and unless it's good on the palate, what's the point in putting it out there, right?
Yeah.
So
there's a brewery near me that I took Greg to, and they do all kinds of experimental shit. Some of them are fucking awesome, and some of them are just like, that was awful.
Like, what the hell did you do?
But the thing is, I give them kudos for being like, hey, we're just going to try some shit.
Yeah.
You know, one of my favorite beers of theirs, and I'm not an IPA drinker, they made a basil IPA, and that was really fucking great. And they also made a taco stout, which tasted like fucking tacos. And I can't tell you how I was admiring the skill of making beer taste like a taco, and at the same time, I was like, I'm never drinking that again. But like, hey, you have balls to go and say, I'm going to make a taco beer, and I was like, you mean like, you know, a Mexican lager? No, I'm making. I was like, okay. And I had a taste from it, and I was like, hey, man, you were going for that taste, and you fucking nailed it. But this little taster is all I'm ever having of that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Daniel is asking, did anyone try the new Sam Summer?
No, I haven't tried that.
I haven't tried it either.
No. Tell us about it, Dan. And on the same line, Doug and I always talk about, it's a common theme about new. I don't know if you're familiar. You can get New Holland, Dragon's Milk, JHG, but it's the same thing. New Holland Dragon's Milk has a basil, apple, orange stout. And you look at them, you're like, this is going to be the shittiest thing ever.
Right.
You there and you drink it, and it's fantastic. So, like, again, I'm exaggerating for purposes, but I don't know what was orange, pineapple, or some bullshit. Come on, what was it?
But I thought,
like every time you go, they have those mixes that, like, for me, it sounds disgusting and gross. I will try, and then when I try it, I'm like, damn, this is good. And Doug knows this story. I went to New Holland, and I literally told those guys, like, I told
why
them,
are you doing this?
Right,
right.
You're crazy, but it works. And they're just laughing at me, and I'm like,
hey, I will tell you, their s'mores version of Dragon's Milk was the best s'mores beer I've ever tasted in my life. And s'mores beer is like, I don't like marshmallow, so like for me,
you have to balance it right?
Yeah, but it tasted, and it was layered, like you had graham cracker, chocolate, marshmallow, graham cracker, and then the beer taste. And I was like, that's like wizardry. If you can make that into a fucking beer, it's like they went, woohoo, and then it freaking just made it just like a s'more on top of a beer, and I have no idea how they did it.
Yeah.
Well, and what I forget when I'm being flippant at the brewery talking to them like this is that they have actually tasting panels
at the brewery.
Yeah, they actually have tasting panels.
That's our next show title. Flipping at the brewery.
Flipping brewery.
Flipping at the brewery. Absolutely. Running my mouth at the brewery. Like, you guys look. And he's like, we actually have tasting panels and people I got you, but it's still crazy. But anyway. Daniel says it's a little less of the lemon fresh and more plain,
I guess. Look at him. He's a poet. He's rhyming shit.
Well, he is a beer blogger at the end of the day.
True.
No, but Sam Summer Ale, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. So Sam Summer, since that point, it got a lot better. Like they adjusted and they adapted, and it's better on the palate. I haven't tried this new Sam Summer recipe yet, so I don't know what else they did to change it. But it's just like any other thing that a brewery makes. You evolve your taste to meet a palate, right?
Yeah.
So, Sam Adams has understood how to adapt and evolve their flavor profiles to meet palates.
Mm-hmm. That's how you make money.
A smart brewery knows how to adapt and evolve their flavor profile for any given beer to meet a palate and to meet a consumer need.
Cheers to that. JG, I got to put a beer on your radar here.
Mm-hmm.
You've probably had this beer. I know Doug's had it. Worldwide Stout by Dogfish Head. Now, Doug, I think Doug knows where I'm going with this, or maybe doesn't.
I know.
They started putting Worldwide Stout in Utopia's cask. So it's a Utopia cask, or it's a Utopia aged.
Yeah, it's like a collaboration.
Stout. Right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm told that you can't get that anywhere. I'm told you can only get it in Delaware at Dogfish Head. I don't know if that's true or not, but I know that you are closer than anyone here is there. So So when you're tolling around the liquor
there
store,
might be some requests on your part.
There might be a road trip involved.
Well, when you're tolling around the beer store there, and if you see that,
yeah.
I don't even know if you'll see it because I don't know if it's going to even hit the shelf.
That's a Justin. There'll be a Venmo thing popping up to you really fast.
Even not. I just want to know someone who has it so they can tell me whether it's good or not and whether I should be jealous.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds really interesting, and I definitely, because I like Dogfish Head, I like a lot of what they've made over time. There really hasn't been a bad Dogfish Head beer that I've had. So if I did not know they had a stout, so I'm all
Oof.
I am all for going for that stout.
Yeah.
So Daniel says he had. We're still talking about same summer. He had to go to the airport for work, so the atmosphere didn't evoke a strong feeling. But it leads me to one thing now. Sam Adams is a really, really, really good airport beer.
Yes.
Sure.
Even if you're having a Sam Adams lager, here's the thing:
Right.
is if I go, let's say I'm going to like Philly Airport and I see like Yingling, I am avoiding that shit.
Thank you.
I'm avoiding that shit like the plague. I'll grab Yards. I'll grab Victory. Whatever. I am avoiding.
Sam Adams. I'll grab Sam Adams.
I have dubbed Yingling as Yuckling because that's all it is.
It's not great.
It's just
Yuckling.
awful.
There's only one variant of theirs that I actually can tolerate, and it's Word Chesterfield Ale. That's a derivative of theirs, and it's not easy to find unless you're in Pennsylvania, or I can get up here in New York. But it's a meh beer, and all the other stuff. Yuckling.
Is that how you spell it?
Yuckling.
That's how you're going to spell it now.
Here. I'll just give it to you so you have it.
I never ever heard of Yuckling.
Yuckling.
Right.
Yeah. JG, can I ask you a question? Have you ever had? So, how do you feel about like shandies? If you now that's 20 years ago when you had the summer ale and you thought it was like the lemon dish soap,
right?
What do you feel about shandies? Like, for instance, like when summer rolls around, it's hot. I always have at least 1 6-pack of Langenkugel summer shandy, just one. I don't do more than that. It's just for some reason it's almost like a rite of passage into spring for me. I don't know, or into summer for me. So, what are your feelings on that?
I feel the same way. I am not someone that goes out to find a summer shandy, but if it's there, I'm not going to dismiss it. I'll drink it. I don't mind something that's light and easy on the palate for a summertime, but I'm going to eventually steer back towards a heavier, heartier beer from a shandy. That's my palate.
Yeah. Even in the winter months or even in the summer months.
Right, exactly.
I will say that for me with summer, it's more like I'm going to drink the lighter stuff, and then maybe a nightcap would be a heavier beer for me. But that's, again, everybody goes like, sometimes I'll drink a heavy beer in the shower, but usually if I drink a heavy beer in the shower, it's the middle of winter after I've done shoveling fucking snow. And I in a hot shower, the cold beer, you're like, yeah.
Well, it is upstate New York, so you're gonna have to do that a lot. So
we didn't this year though. We really didn't have snow at all, and the only thing is our spring has been very slow. So like that hasn't been great because my wife and I are trying to like, hey, let's get to the garden, and then it's like snowing outside. I'm like, well, we're not doing the garden. It sucks, but yeah.
I know, man. We've been waiting for the 30-degree nights to end.
Yeah.
We still got another one tonight.
Oh,
man, it's that climate change. I
said what?
Sorry, my bad. What?
Break it up.
Well, we're not polluting like we used to, so we don't need to worry about that, right?
Right.
Anyway, whoa, Doug, you're talking politics.
No, I am not. Why are you making me the bad guy?
I'll talk it.
Well, you're always the bad guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
I'm the lacking top sheet guy, so I'm always the guy.
Yeah, I JG, you have to clarify your stance on the top sheet before we leave because
we know what it is, but the general public does not. So,
right. Actually, I don't remember the whole top sheet thing started with JHG. Not started with JHG, but JHG was there, and it started generally.
I was there.
Yeah,
you were at the epicenter.
You were at the epicenter of the top sheet controversy. Yes, you were.
I was absolutely.
I don't remember your opinion though.
I am a top sheet person.
See,
you're wrong.
I am not. Despite what Doug says, I am not wrong.
ASMR.
Is the wife a top sheet person too?
Yes.
Okay.
So
it's complicated though in many households.
Oh, it's complicated. It depends on layers, right? We've talked about layers before. There's a top sheet. We have a comforter. Sometimes there is a third layer. That third layer can peel.
Name George.
Right. And sometimes
going off the rails, folks.
Sometimes the foot sticks out of the sheets because you got to regulate the temperature.
I don't get into all that.
So,
hey, I'm willing to forgive you for the top sheet thing, but I'm going to stick my toe out of the blanket to regulate the rest of my body temperature. I just need to give you a pass on.
Fair.
I'll drink more beer. How about that?
So let's talk about more beer.
right.
Yeah. This is the one that Greg was wanting to see too.
Over the Moon Milk Stout.
Oh, we're not done opening beers.
Oh no.
Oh, I think you and I might be, Greg, but let's let JG fucking drop it.
So
I don't know. I can open another one if you want. I mean,
yeah.
Open Gate Brewery, Guinness. In Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
So
Greg and I were there.
So that right. So that says something when Guinness comes to the Americas and plants a brewery in the States.
Mm.
Oh, look at how that pours. Ooh, baby.
JC, I'm sorry, Doug, we had that one, didn't we?
Yes, we had, because we each had a flight, which was exceptionally fucking expensive. But yeah, we had that one.
Not only was it, yeah, it was. No, there's no doubt that it was expensive, but it was also the transverse between that and Heavy Seas again was part of the whole thing.
Heavy Seas. Go there. You enjoy it.
So I have not been to Heavy Seas. I've had Heavy Seas. I've had a couple of brews of Heavy Seas, and I've really enjoyed them, but I haven't been to their brewery. I did flights. I did a flight at the Guinness Brewery in Maryland, and it went the gamut. And they had so this one is the milk stout, and they're selling it pretty regularly around here. It is a kind of a step down from their usual stout. It's easier on the palate, so it's a faster drink, so to speak. But it still gives you all the flavor points that you want out of a Guinness without it being heavy.
Yeah.
Right. But I will never forget, and my brother who came with me. So my brother, backtrack. My wife gave my brother, my father, and I a Father's Day experience at Guinness Brewery shortly after they opened up. So we got to go there, have a steak potato meal and a drink on them. And then we went in and we did a flight. And they've made I don't know about other breweries, but they made an experiential space. You guys know that, you've been there. So there are games outside. There's a spot where you can go and get beers right out on the plaza that they have for gaming and things like that. And then there's the brewery tour inside, as well as the bar inside that you can sit down and do food and things like that. it's a fabulous space.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in Maryland and you have a chance to go there, go there. It's worth the time and the experience. The flight was great. They did a full flavor I did a full flavor profile because they had, I would say, a dozen different kind of options to choose from, at least, if not more. But I will say that the one brew that they had on tap that they don't have out on the market was a vanilla stout, which was just to die for. My brother and I both had it on the flight, and we were like, we need a pint, because it was the right mixture of vanilla flavor and coffee and that stouty richness that you like out of a Guinness, and just extended it that much further. And we said if they ever put this out on the market, it would just sell like gangbusters, because what Guinness understands is how to create a flavor profile that works. And if they can mass produce that in the States, they make even more money than they already do. So
yeah, they make a few bucks.
They do.
No, and yeah, if you yeah, here we go. This is Daniel has it right here. Their old stock ale's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
That place is an event. And I don't mean this in a derogatory way. Doug's gonna laugh because he knows what I mean. But the food is really good there. And I don't mean it in a derogatory way. The food is amazing. And also, though, when you go there, you need to not get a Guinness stout. Like, you need to get something else off of their menu.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
It's nice totally to agree.
It's nice to get a proper pour, but when you walk in there, and JHG did with JHG, I love you, buddy, but you did what everybody else does, which is you categorize Guinness as the stout as opposed to Guinness being a whole brand. And Guinness understands that. Because when you walk in, you say, but it worked, JC, you're not wrong or anything. It's not about right or wrong. It's just about how people deal with it. Because you walk into any brewery and you say, any bar and say, I want a Guinness, they know what to give you. They're not saying Guinness IPA, Guinness whole wheat apricot. They're like, here's your stout. I'm gonna go pour it. Right. So, but the thing about Guinness Barrel House, and then I'll let you respond, is that like when you go there, you see all kinds of different styles and you're almost blown away. At least I was when I walked in there, like, oh, I thought I was just going to get a Guinness here and I'm going to get like 12 Guinnesses.
So the designer in me says that's a branding thing. People understand Guinness as a brand, as a stout producer. That's all they produce. So when they walk in, they're not ready for a menu full of different options that they can choose from. So and I'm at fault for that too. I walked in there, I'm like, oh, look at all these options. I don't even know what to choose. And so I being the open-minded, experiential person that I am when it comes to beers, I wanted to go the spectrum. I wanted to go from a ale to a stout, but not just the normal stout, because I know what their traditional stout is. So I was going to choose the things that they were experimenting with to see how they matched up to what they are known for. Because my honeymoon was in Ireland, and I went to the Guinness brewery and I experienced their stout at their brewery in Ireland. And it is blows your fucking mind how good that is in comparison to what you ever get here. It is nothing like it. I mean, my wife is not a beer drinker. She doesn't like beer, let alone stouts. And that was a drinkable beer for her.
Yeah.
So it tells you what a regional beer can do versus a imported beer can do for you. And so if you go to a place like Guinness where they're experimenting, try their different beers, try the different flavor profiles that they are offering you, and see what it is that they're doing, because you never know what you might find, even in a place like Guinness, let alone a place like Port City, let alone a place like Surly. I mean, you try it. You could find something that you might not find or realize you like.
For sure. No, seriously, like you go in there and it can be a bit overwhelming if you're used to Guinness. You think, oh, well, I'll just have a Guinness stout. Well, yeah, but there's freaking 20 options on the menu, and you're just.
Good tip is to go with a friend. I went with Doug, and him and I got we got 2 flights, and like Doug said, the flights are expensive. So if you get 2 flights, and then you get all different stuff, and then you get all share. That's what we pretty much did. And then we shared lunch. Got out of it. It was good. We shared lunch actually too. I'm pretty sure I was eating off of Doug's plate a little bit.
Yeah, I think I was eating off of yours, so I think it's fine.
Right. When is this gonna come back? I'm gonna. Oh my god!
Yes, dude, I missed it. I do. I missed it. They totally missed it.
Now I was doing good, but now that like I'm doing these shows and meet my friend shows, and we're talking about like where I met you and where we drank, and all this is starting to come back. And Doug keeps saying, "Well, when Greg was here, we went to this brewery," and I'm like, "Doug, that was the last time I was with anyone at a brewery, literally." No bullshit. Actually, we were coming back from that too, and that's when Doug and I were like, "We're not going to be able to do our New York trip." Shit, like that was when like it really hit me.
Yeah, because I think we both. I said to him, I said, "Listen, man, we were supposed to go to New York City for like a beer trip. He was going to come. My wife was going to come.
Yeah, it's going to be great,
and it was going to be awesome. And we had people lined up. Daniel Fisher was going to be part of it.
Going to be Daniel,
yes. Yeah, and we were just like, man. I mean, this is when it was the end of February and things were just really starting to get up in the air. And like, I don't think we can do that. I mean, and thankfully we did that, because you look at New York City now and it's like, that's the epicenter of our country, really.
It can happen either way. Right?
Forgive me, the epicenter. Yeah, the epicenter is probably right. It's not where it began. Like the first one was like up the Pacific Northwest,
right.
And then San Francisco and places like that were really hit really hard. But New York
major cities are epicenters for something like this.
Yeah, or places that decide that, hey, fuck you guys, we're just going to leave everything open.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Yeah, but we have a couple friends who are in South Dakota who are.
Yes, sir.
Like worried about.
We all have Charlie. Yes.
Yeah. Charlie, we love you and we miss you.
And I hope you are okay, dude.
Oh, we hope you are okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Charlie doesn't do a top sheet, so.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
But Charlie's my boy.
I love the top sheet man thing. It really does.
And it's so awesome all at the same time.
It is. Absolutely.
Well, JHG, man, it's getting to be that time where we sign off, brother.
Yeah,
it was really nice having you.
Before we go, we need you to tell us what you liked. Give us like the rating of the beers you have. Like, what did you like the most? And it doesn't mean you have to shit on anybody. It just means like, what did you like on everything?
You can shit on somebody though if you want.
Yeah, you can if you warrant.
We have actually. So.
Yeah. Well, tonight I can't shit on anybody because I mean, regardless of whatever it was that I had, can I do this?
JC, let's talk about outside of Blue Jacket when I last saw you.
Oh,
Let's not forget it. Forget it.
All you have
Oh,
to say is like the amount of over
wait,
people was pretty incredible, was it not?
Forget it. Forget it.
that's a whole nother story right there. But I will say that Blue Jacket, not my president. Thank you.
Drop it in hot, Tom. Way to go.
Speaking about Blue Jacket, so Blue Jacket, I know the director of operations for brewing at Blue Jacket. He's a good friend of mine, and they make really good craft beers. They make really
hot,
and they make a lot.
Huge.
They do. So they renovated a old military complex building in downtown DC and turned it into a brewery. And they make really fantastic array of beers. And Doug and Greg and I and a few others had a chance to go there and enjoy food and brews from their location. It is one of the places that you've got to go if you're in DC, because it has the environment for it, it has the brews for it, it has the food for it.
For sure.
And
You're very judicious right now.
Thank you. That's the way I operate.
You don't have to go any farther. Hey, you promoted them because honestly, their beer was excellent. Their food was excellent. It was just some elements that were maybe out of their control a bit were not great, but
right.
A touch.
Prior to shutdown, granted.
Yeah, it was. It was like I came home and a week later. That's when the MLB and all those guys said we're done, and that's when it really started.
It was the NBA.
Some people run around acting like they could restart something they never shut down, but I didn't.
It's gonna be interesting.
We're just gonna leave that one go. Actually, let's tease this. Doug and I are going to do a politics show, JHG. You want to come back for that?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I do.
Later in the year. Yeah, and I like that you did not hesitate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No.
I started a politics thread in Facebook.
Why?
Greg can.
This is before our current president.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it wasn't about him.
Yeah.
It's about him, but it wasn't before.
This came out of Home Dad Con means so many other things than just being an at-home parent. It has to do with what you are as a person, who you are politically. That's like back there, but we all carry it, and we started a thread that had to do with politics, and it blew up. It blew up before Trump got into office. So
yeah, and then remember I pissed that one dude. We should talk about this after.
Yes, we should.
We an after show. One.
Remember I pissed that one dude off, and then he deleted the whole thing. Remember?
Yeah. That? Mm-hmm.
It was great. Triggered.
Yeah.
Anyway, JC, do we get to your rankings? Because again, you two, I could be your own.
All right. No, we did not get to the rankings. We got off track. So
right. This is what happens.
Very easy to do.
Right. Especially when JHG and I and Doug are in, like 2 minutes later, you might find yourself in a top sheet duvet conversation for about 4 hours. And then it goes over to Facebook for about another 15 days.
Yeah.
And then they start to thread just for the top sheet conversation. And yeah, it'll never end. And it's funny too, because with it with it
It's an hour and a half.
what did motherfuckers say? Yeah, Ben.
Don't even start with the top shot.
We're way past that point. Like
Gone it.
We are so far past
that. Past that, Ben. It's gone.
Oh, and I don't know. See, but
back there.
If Doug could ever sleep with a top sheet, I might sleep with Doug, but I can't sleep with him. But listen, though, Doug listen. That's cool. Doug likes the window.
Good bottoms, a good small spoon, and a good big spoon. Just for the record.
Yeah, but I don't do all that. You need to stay over there when I'm sleeping. But Doug is cool because he likes the window cracked, so it gets a little wind and a little sound, and I'm the fan guy, so we can work.
So there's sound. There's sound involved.
What is that all about?
Greg, sound. Sound. Jazz hands.
I've had too many drinks. JHG, you need to go.
JHG, man, rank them.
So look,
I'm watching.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a little off the rails here, guys.
It is off the rails.
All right,
number one.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one.
Tasty. Okay, that's a good one to start for one. Yeah,
absolutely.
That was the one I was like really happy to see that you were bringing. So yeah. It could be like a 2A and 2B. It doesn't have to be.
Mm-hmm.
True.
We've done that multiple times.
I will have to go with that for number 2 because that is a consistent
goodness.
And they are 3, but oh shit. There we go.
IPA and a porter.
So the black IPA and a porter. But they are, I mean, realistically to me, they are all on the same line. They just within their own profiles, they hit the mark. So you can't really go wrong with any of those. It's just what is your particular mood at the time?
What is your mood?
What is your mood?
To drink more, but not on the show.
Yeah.
Right. So JHC, I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, thanks for being on. It's been great.
Thanks, man.
Obviously, this thing went by in an hour and a half, and it felt like it was like 10 minutes.
Right.
Well, JHC
keep going.
He didn't join us for the first 20 minutes, but that's
a true statement.
But what people don't know, and people are about to know, is that JHG and I scheduled 2 shows. So we scheduled this one, and he's coming back in the fall to talk about home.con and where we're at and all that.
That's right.
So we can see JHG back. I don't know the date, but me and him have it all hashed out. So I think it's in September. So he's already booked. So we'll see JHG closer to fall. It'll be great.
Sweet, man.
And you better have an answer for me about home.con then. I need to know.
Oh, you'll know before then.
Yeah.
All right. JHG, thank you.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate
it.
Cheers, man.
And don't leave. We do post-production.
All right.
So,
dude, that was that went a little bit sideways. That's okay though. That's the fun part. It's just like these things are organic to a point. I don't think we don't script any of this. Like, all right, we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna start, and then and we just go with it. And the guests drive the show. And that's what's great about it is, you and I, we're great friends and we get to talk about what we want to talk about. But like, really, it's a guest that drives the show. And that was a really great guest.
Yeah. And I like Friday's show compared to my Meet the Friends. Meet the Friends, I want people to really be showcased and, just to talk about what they do and all that. Whereas this is just us having beers. And I love it. It's
whatever.
It's easy, right? And I don't know, Meet the Friends is not really that scripted. It's me just talking to my friends, basically. But on some level, to me, I want it to be a little bit more professional than this, because I want to make sure that, that their brand gets, that people can see a good positive view of their brand and all that. But I don't. Yeah. Well, when you start the show with 11%, you're going. So I'm gonna hit mine.
Do your rankings because you have more beers than I do. Are you sure?
Yeah, man, I don't know. They were all pretty damn good. We'll start with. Actually, I'm just gonna go from the beginning, which is keep it moving, which is a light lager. Not my favorite style, as you already know. But it was a nice drinker. I'm gonna go with Hopalicious second. Hopalicious is the flagship for Ale Asylum. Fantastic beer, but I don't know. I kind of, when I drank it today, and I haven't had it for a while, it kind of like, man, this beer feels a little bit aged. Not the beer, just the brand and the style and all that. Again, the beer I think was fresh. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't missing anything. Ale Asylum does their new session IPA. Plush, really good, fresh, nice, big for a session, drinking like a sessiono, very nice. And then I don't know, my favorite one was this Latterus that I'm still working on.
Yeah, but that's a nightcap kind of beer. You know what I mean? Like you're like, I had this nice, and then I'm just gonna drink this heavy, fucking yummy, luscious fucking beer at the end. Yeah.
Yep. And then in post production, I'm gonna get to this double ass IPA that I have. But I'll bring it on.
That's the name of it, double ass IPA, because that'd be great. Double ass. You are stuck with me as a fucking show partner, man.
Well, on that note, I'm just gonna let you talk.
All right. So mine was basically in order. So the K2 Mole Imperial Mole Stout, it was a little bit too spicy for my taste. Again, if you like chili beers, I highly suggest getting this. The stout taste was good where I could find it, but the chili just kind of overpowered it all. Not my jam, but could be yours. Number 2 was a Narwhal, barrel-aged Narwhal. Fucking excellent. Really good. Really smooth. And again, I've had the winner's just a 1050 barrel age because it was even smoother, and it just fucking was delicious. And
it was a 10 too. That's a 10 beer, it sounded like, or a 9.
So I'm gonna tell you the Narwhal. So it's like I said, with Narwhal, it's like, all right, this is fucking good. And then you had this 1050 is like, all right, that's not perfection, but damn close. So like I don't know. The 1050 one, I'm glad I have 3 more of those.
Well, excellent, Doug. And tomorrow we'll see. I don't even have a screen. Tomorrow, next week we have Vernon Gibbs the second, but 11 a.m. tomorrow, Saturday, we have Ellie from Brewing Collaborative in Minneapolis. So about diversity. So we will see. I'll see you in almost 12 hours.
You got it, my man.
Everybody else, Daddy Porter Group, Daddy Porter Facebook, all that will be there.
Commenting, man. Bring it. Send questions, whatever.